Hail to the Phantom Menace, and yes, we're really late. Sorry about that. We found some interesting things, UFOs and such. And let's pop this up there. And I gotta say, it looks really weird. Let's see if we can't get like
there
that.
we go.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are we looking at here?
There's a light in every triangle point, and when it's going through the clouds, you can see that it looks cloaked. You see it going through the clouds?
Yeah.
You can see a triangle shape pushing the clouds aside.
So we're thinking this is like one kind of craft? Is that what we're...
Multiple.
Yeah. Oh, multiple. Okay. So not one big one, but different
three or four triangle-shaped craft. And Wes was saying that he's seen something just like this.
Yep. Yeah, on the sight lines of the Sacramento International Airport. Except the one I saw had a red dot in the middle of the triangle.
Right in the center of it.
Yeah. And I've been hearing all kinds of talk about a TR3B.
TR3B?
Yeah, TR3B, I think. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's a experimental craft that the government's been working on, and I've heard the UFO guys, they talk about this stuff and all that.
Okay,
and,
so you
can see a definite triangle shape there.
Yeah, and they're saying that this is one of our crafts. They're not saying this is like otherworldly or other dimensional. This is more a test military craft or something.
I think this is our military aircraft.
Okay.
See it?
I think it's one of ours. Yep.
Because when it's moving, you can see the outline of it.
So it's got cloaking technology. It's translucent.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, because when it goes through the clouds, you can see it kind of almost disappearing, but you see the light behind it.
You can also kind of slightly see where it displaces the clouds a little bit as it moves through it.
Right, meaning it's definitely a physical presence there.
So this next one, I just did a random UFO search on Twitter, and let's take a look at this one. Click the sound. Let's see, where'd it go?
Where was that? Sentinel asked where that was filmed. What's up, Sentinel?
What's up, Sentinel?
What's up, RR and Parrot Head?
Happened in California, right here. This one.
Oh, it's California. Oh,
yeah, this one.
My neck of the woods. Whoa!
It's like
what was that? What the heck?
It's like
I don't know.
I
don't know if this is real.
I would have thought
I've heard about this particular one.
Whoa, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, they did shut down HARP pretty recently, so maybe we have mobile HARP now.
Wait, was HARP was shut down recently?
Yeah, I think it's been about like 5 or 6 years now.
No.
I thought.
Really?
Yep. So maybe the reason they shut it down is because they have mobile HARP now. What is that? Look at how it's... Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks like it too. See, that had a triangular shape to it as well.
It was spinning. Over here, you can see it spinning.
Yeah, that's whatever that is spinning.
It looks kind of star-shaped.
Looks like it's being like hit by something.
Yeah.
Hell? What is that sound?
Car alarms.
Well, I hear that, but
and police sirens.
Yeah, it sounds like it's like something's. It's being like like right there. Those poundings.
Right on top, something's coming down from it.
Kind of an arcing.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, man, that's freaking weird, huh?
That would
That
freak me
is
out if I saw that in real
crazy.
life.
Wow.
I've seen this clip used in a couple other YouTube videos. A little bit more. There was some UFO conspiracy videos that I seen this one in, and
I mean, that's pretty compelling.
yeah. I don't remember which video it was in. I don't even know if it's still up anymore.
Is that like a malfunction? Is that the way it's supposed to operate? What are we seeing?
Your guess is as good as mine. That looks crazy. And then there's the
Yeah, it's like spinning around. Does it say where that's from or when that's from?
it happened in California.
Wonder what part of California.
2020, yeah.
I see a lot of palm trees. But California palm trees are pretty much everywhere. So
Right. But probably
That
Southern
one.
California. I have not heard about that.
yeah, there's a lot more palm trees in Southern California.
All right,
that's for
this is
sure.
the one that remember the government recently.
Now the burden of proof has
Oh, yes.
shifted.
No, I don't want no sound. Damn it! Why does it do that? So yeah, this is what was released recently.
Right.
Is that the Tic Tac?
Let's see here.
Yeah, they came out with this.
Yeah, that guy's been on a lot of conspiracy shows.
Oh,
what's his
yeah.
name? Mitsuko.
He's like the #1 TV physicist.
Yep.
Or not, TV physicist, but the one who's does the most publicity.
Yep.
What do we have here? Yeah, right there. I think they're recreating this.
That looked like an actual literal Tic Tac. So.
Yeah.
State-of-the-art graphic designs by
Is that Fravor?
I know who that is.
David Fravor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
what
Dave
it says
Fravor.
there.
Former U.S. Navy pilot. I guess he's the one that's
Oh,
seen this. Like every
Now,
time I press.
My question is, to me, this seems like this is like official soft disclosure. Well, it's not even soft disclosure; it's official disclosure, right? Because
They're officially admitting it.
yeah, and who's giving them the authority to do this? I mean, this isn't like a Navy pilot's just coming on and saying this. Like someone's giving them the go-ahead, right, to come out with this.
Well, I think so because once you get clearance, you always have it, and you always have to be signed off on what you talk about.
Right. So who's giving them the clearance for this?
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, very indeed.
That one on the left looks like the TIE fighter.
Right here.
Yeah, the object there looks like a TIE fighter.
Yeah, it does. That's the thing. That's the where they're locking onto it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look how fast it's moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The one on the right, you can see how fast it's going.
yeah. I think it's different angles of the same one.
What the hell is that thing?
Let's see here.
Tucker Carlson's really the guy who has been, kind of the chosen one to be breaking this kind of stuff too, because he seems to have the most talk about it.
Yeah.
Why does the sound automatically turn down when you do that? Jeez.
Yeah, Parrothead says the Pentagon, possibly the Joint Chiefs. Yeah, I mean someone at the Pentagon, I guess, but
Yeah. Something really weird. Check that out. That little thing right here is in this balloon up box right there. It changes shape.
yeah, the clouds
Very
like
strange.
move It's like morphing.
Yeah, it does not seem natural the way it's doing that.
Not at that speed. If that's actual speed, which it looks like it is, yeah, it's actual speed because you can see the camera moving around. Yeah, that's not
camera
natural.
shake.
Definitely not natural. It's not
Very
how
weird.
clouds act.
And it's a halfway decent camera. Whoever's using it, it's not.
I mean,
not
it
too
almost
bad.
it looks like, yeah, it actually is a pretty good camera. It looks like a jellyfish in water, the way it's moving around.
It does. It has a very liquid kind of.
Right.
behavior. Oh, look at the way it's moving solidly, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there's like a flash there. If you saw that little flash, wow, it's going really fast too.
That's and it's doing it by itself too.
I mean, how would
What?
that? Come on, like someone's not going to notice that up in the sky. Even it looks like a cloud. It's obviously traveling very fast.
It's very strange.
See a little.
Yeah.
Look, you can look inside of it. You can see like light, almost like it's lightning or something inside there. You can see little
Yeah.
flashes of light every now and then.
CJ is saying
What the hell is that?
geoengineering.
That's not geoengineering. That's something
No.
else.
Yeah, that
It's not
doesn't make any
That's-
remote controlled
that's-
cloud.
goddamn sense. It's very strange.
That's something that is pretty
Wow,
much
that's crazy.
yeah.
It's a really good video.
Yeah, really good video.
Because that's one of the most interesting and clear
Mm-hmm.
things I've seen.
Really is. That was at like
Yes.
HD quality for sure.
And it was able to follow it. Oh, look at that. That's
Yeah.
cool. And like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like-
Shows the flare.
yeah, night vision. Yeah, see those little flashes. You could see those subtly.
Yeah.
You could see that.
There's something warm in there.
Yeah, you could see something flashing around in there.
Something very warm in there.
Yeah, CJ says a staged alien invasion. Yeah, that could be something of that too, maybe.
I think it's one of ours personally, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but what is?
Look at all that. Whole bunch of
Whoa.
UFOs.
That's kind of like something that I've seen before. I saw something very similar to that. Very, very similar to that. Looked like I thought it was a constel. It was darker though, but it looked like a constellation. And they started doing patterns.
Oh, look at
Now there weren't as many as this. The ones I saw were probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so probably about
1, 2, 3,
8 to
4,
10?
5.
Crap.
This is way more than that. But I saw something kind of similar to this.
There's
they're
30.
making geometric. Look like
They're saying-
rows.
They're saying hello. We're here.
What
Oh, yeah.
the hell?
They're like, why
Yeah.
isn't anybody answering?
Yeah,
Keep
or some
calling, but you're not answering.
Eh.
No one's home.
Yeah, we had analog. They had digital. We weren't getting the signal.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
ring,
Orson
ring,
Welles
ring.
did a fake alien invasion
Mhm.
on the
yeah,
radio.
the War of the Worlds or whatever.
Yeah, War of the Worlds. Yeah, people thought it was
Yeah.
serious and started freaking out and running outside to look up to see what was going on.
Yeah, my great grandma told me about that. Apparently, people really did believe it.
Oh yeah, it was
Yes,
taken seriously.
Which one? Let's see this one. Let's see that one. Oh, let's check this one out.
Later. Yeah.
What in the... Looks like one of those spinny things.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the Twilight Zone. Dun, dun,
like a
dun.
kaleidoscope or yeah, like a portal vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, it does look like a vortex, huh?
A little bit.
It does, yeah.
Have you guys seen that vortex
Cool.
over where was it? Like Norway, I think it was. Have you seen that video from a couple years ago?
I've seen images
yeah,
from it.
People weren't sure if it
Yeah.
was like a rocket or whatever it was.
Yeah, right. And there's good video of it that looks like. I mean, it's spinning. It's kind of like that, but it's more of a vortex-looking thing. It's spinning around. It's crazy.
In another day, another spinning UFO flying over Las Vegas.
We have a lot of
Vegas.
black ops around Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep. Isn't that where? You guys seen that Netflix show with oh gosh, look here, look it up. I forget the guy's name now. God, I can't believe I forget his name.
Who?
Not Bob Lazar, is it?
Yeah, it's Bob Lazar. Yeah. That's the Netflix special. He said he was taking these black flights, in and out of Vegas, I believe, to
Yeah,
go to the Area 51 site.
The Jana flights.
Yeah, a Jana flight. Is that what they're called? Jana flights?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Jana stands for just another non-existent airline. They were known for
That's
having
total.
red stripes down the middle of a white plane. Yeah.
The aliens should stream on YouTube if they want to get our attention.
Bear, send them a StreamYard link immediately.
They're invited.
Yep.
CJ, I don't think aliens would care enough about the humans at this point, other than maybe that we destroy ourselves. Good entertainment for them.
Supposedly they've been watching us since the beginning of time, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
You look at all these old Renaissance paintings, all these paintings that go all the way back, cave drawings, UFOs.
yeah, there's definitely been presence of whatever they are from wherever they are. For
Yeah,
a
that
while.
last one was from Las Vegas.
Well, yeah, from Vegas, yeah.
They do
that-
seem to be concentrated around where we have, like Air Force bases and naval bases. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's been reports where they've shut down, nuclear launch sites.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Maybe Earth is television for them.
Like the Truman Show. Wait, didn't
Oh,
South
yeah.
Park do a thing like that too? Where they revisited the first episodes of South Park, and it turned out it was all a reality show for aliens.
I think I recall that.
Yeah, it was a
It's
long
been a
time
while.
ago. Yeah, very long
It's
time
been a while.
ago.
I see Simpson cartoons show up on YouTube every now and then, here and there.
Yeah, I haven't watched The Simpsons, man, since I was in like junior high school. It's been a long time.
Terrible reality TV.
So yeah, unidentified flying hoe. Now, are you talking hoe as in garden tool, or the kind you find down at the corner in your local cities in the red district?
Yeah, Parrot Head, we want to know.
So yeah. See, I was just doing some random searches for UFOs, and I found all that, and I seen the one blue one. That was the most.
Oh, I think out of all those, the spinning one was crazy. That spinning triangle, but I think that was crazy. But the cloud one is maybe the most interesting to me because it's so clear. You get such a good shot of it. You know, the spinning one's pretty crazy because whatever it is, you could definitely tell there's like a triangle type of object that's spinning around, and it almost looks like it's getting hit by something. Something is attacking it. Maybe, I don't know. It looks like it's getting hit to me, but the cloud one actually is crazy because it's very clear video. You can clearly see this thing morphing and moving around like jello, or it's like something liquid.
Very unnatural movement with everything else going on around it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've never seen anything quite like that kind of video before.
The one that looked triangular shaped, that was spinning, maybe even a star shaped. It looked like something was shooting it from above.
Right, it looked like it was being hit by something.
Well, I don't know if it was generating that effect or.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah. Okay, here's here, Bear. You want to share this screen? I'm just gonna play this part here. In 1 second here. This is the vortex over. Where was this?
Norway?
Norway, yeah, Norway. All right, here we go. All right, so we'll just play this little clip here. Now this is crazy too. I've never seen anything like this before. Look at this thing.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Yep.
That was filmed. That was like national news, right? That was all over the place. So, look at that there. Look at that. Opens up. Something opens
It looks
up.
like a beam was shooting and making it open.
Yeah, I don't know what. Right there, does look like it's a beam there. Yeah, there does look like a beam right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is
As soon as the beam shot out, it started.
It's narrowing, yeah.
Yeah.
Focusing a little bit.
Wow.
I mean, that's yeah. See there.
Yeah,
okay,
right
let's
there,
take
the
a look
black
here.
in the middle. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get it from the beginning there.
Beam
Yeah, I'm gonna start
around.
focusing in. Yeah, there it goes. Then boom, and it starts opening up. I don't know if that's when it disperses or what, but
Well, it gets really dark in the middle compared to the rest of the
uh-huh.
sky.
Yeah, it does.
That is
Yeah,
so
look at that.
dark.
Yeah, look at that. You go from this, yeah, look how dark that gets, and then it just starts.
It's as if they're experimenting with a warp engine or something.
Or a portal.
Yeah, interdimensional travel or portal
Yeah.
or something like that.
Now, if we look at the, let's see here. There's cave drawings.
Yeah, there's cave drawings of spirals. Isn't there? Isn't the most famous one in France?
Oh, there's one here that was. I think it's in Arizona. Let's see here if I can find. Bear, I think you're actually part of the tribe. It's the ones that disappeared that they had to build. They built up into the cave. They built up into the wall. Anasazi, that's it.
Yeah, Anasazi.
Aren't you some?
I
It's
think the Anasazi disappeared.
They did.
Not any more of them.
It's said that that's not exactly true. The Anasazi is part of the Aztecs' creation story that most people in history ignore. And there was a few elders that got together and they wrote a book about the Aztec rebuilding the Mexica nation, and the whole language is in there. If you wanted to learn a language, they have the whole language in there, all the letters and pronunciations. And my God, learning how to just say the original name of Mexico City. The original name was Tenochtitlan, and it meant the place of the prickly pear cactus.
Huh.
And talk about real tongue twisting words, man. They're not easy to pronounce. The actual language itself, I can barely say the word. It's twist your tongue. Because there was the books about 12 tribes of Mexica that were traveling from
I just did a search of the Anasazi. I just did on Anasazi drawings, and a couple of them come up are these spirals. And if you look at what we just saw with Norway,
Yep.
and then you match it up with some of this stuff, it's very interesting. And you've got some of them have kind of weird type creatures that like this. Weird. There's another type
horns.
of spiral, but yeah, something maybe with horns there. If that's I don't know if that's supposed to be part of a sun or like
Horns on the helmet or something.
Yeah, it looks like. Or and then there's something here. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's fingers. If that's supposed to be like a hand, like pinky, middle finger, index finger, thumb. I don't know if that's a hand or. Here's a different version of it here. And then you've got like this thing. Like what the F is that?
Yeah. I'm looking like that, man. That's one serious warrior.
Look at that,
Oh wow.
And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands or 5 fingers. So what it almost looks like sort of the alien type figures that we know today. Here again, we have some weird. And then what's this? Is this someone what's that? I mean, it could be a lot of things, it's obviously a lot of speculation, but
yeah.
Well, and even if you want to go later, you have Roanoke Island. The colonists disappeared without a trace on.
The Nazca lines are also very, very interesting, I gotta say.
Man, that is weird. That demonic looking thing over there on the left.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
There's some more. Yeah, like like again, you've got this sort of horned type creature, right? Look at a snake. There's a snake there.
Looks like
a snake staff. You've got sort of eyes, and then these horns. There's almost like dual horns there. You got something up here, and then this. You know, there's another snake on this side. These look like snakes on each shoulder almost.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that in a dark canyon valley.
No, I mean look at this. Like what the look at that.
Supposedly, the symbol for medicine, the snakes, it's supposed to represent DNA and RNA.
Yeah. You can see that
You see
obviously he's holding the snake.
Yeah, I mean he's obviously holding a snake there.
Then you have those things that could be eggs. Maybe
But
the
also-
snake is representative of.
Look at this. He's got a spiral in his chest, and look how freaking tall. Look how freaking huge he is.
He's got
Yeah.
ferns in his hair.
That is, yeah.
I would say that being he's got ferns in his hair, it looks like birds flying too.
It
That
does
he's
look like
probably-
birds.
He's probably peaceful.
Look again. Look at this. The snake. It's always the serpent.
Snake over the head.
Oh.
Is that a warning?
ET phone home.
And then look at what is that a clock there?
Are they trying to tell us that not a friend?
time's running out. Look
Yeah,
at this. Yeah, it looks like ET or something, right? And here, I don't know if this means anything, but there's only 4 fingers. I don't know if that's significant or not, but we've seen 5. And again, look how tall, look how big. How big it is. Look again, the spiral, another spiral shape.
Yeah, back out real quick.
Huh?
I think you did some.
Oh, did we lose it?
No, go down. Click the Hopi clown.
Which this one?
Yeah, the colored one. That's all colored in. Yeah.
Snake charmer.
Does that say Hopi?
Look at that. It's got a Hopi. Yeah.
Hopi. Well, Hopi are related
snake
to Aztec. The Hopi are one of the branches off of the Aztec when they were making their journey to Mexico
Oh,
City.
jeez.
Yeah, there was
Or
12 tribes. They were one of the tribes. They were one of the tribes that spoke the same language.
It's fascinating. The spiral.
And the Hopi language is also part of the
Yeah, look
Aztec
at that.
language dialect.
Look at that. You have there are a lot of native stories that talk about creatures coming out of spiral shaped portals, and and then you have these cave drawings that show just that, which is crazy.
Well, there's that story in the Bible too, where they donned the sacred garments and went through.
Well, yeah, that's what I was kind of because I'm a Christian, so I've studied a lot of I come at this from a different perspective than like Bear does. So a lot of the stuff I see,
You would be surprised all the Christian mysticism and stuff that I know about.
well, there's a lot of similarities to it too.
Fascinating.
'Cause
Well, the flood myth. I mean, that's in Central and Latin America, and it's almost identical to the Noah.
Almost every ancient civilization has a flood-like story. They're all pretty similar. Now there's differences, but they're all pretty similar. So when you take something, how does every civilization going back thousands of years where there was no communication, there's no way natives would have the same type of flood story that the people in the Middle East do and the people that in Africa. I mean, there's just no way that would happen unless it was based on some kind of truth, or they were getting information from some sort of source that was able to communicate with everyone at once.
Some intermingling going on.
Well, there's a lot. See, in the Bible again, it talks a lot about intermingling and
That's a Cocopelli.
this.
Yeah, that's Cocopelli playing the flute. Symbol of fertility.
Well, it's like, okay, there's a boat, there's a
So
flood.
basically, if you want to have kids, really quick, final,
Yeah.
get a Cocopelli image and give it to your wife and put it above your bed, on a mantle or something near your bed, and I guarantee you'll have kids soon.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, look here again. Look, spiral. Look at the spiral. It's everywhere.
it's a Hopi spiral. They're on my rings that I
So
wear.
what is the Hopi spiral? What does that mean? Where does that come from?
Honestly, I instinctually have an instinct for what it is, but I don't exactly know how to put it into words. But maybe a gateway.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's right. That's
Gateway.
what
And it could be basically it could be symbols of gateways that have white light, and I've experienced this traveling and in certain situations where we were on our way to partake in some sacred things along the way, and there was always things that happened along the way, and something would break, you have to stop, and you discover something along the way. It's like that you wouldn't have noticed. And so you've seen this beautiful area. So, hey, let's go over here and check it out real quick, because sometimes you find some interesting things when you're on your way to go take part in some sacred things. And then when you realize you came out of that area, you got stubble on your face, and how you shaved that morning. You shouldn't have stubble on your face.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I just told part of a true story right there that was related to me. And that's pretty much what happened. And then after that, I discovered a few areas in my area in the woods where near a creek, where it's real powerful white light that comes out of one area and then out of another area. And me and a friend, we went in there. He was a mentor to me, and we went into it, and we were just sitting on a log, smoking a cigarette. And when we came out, we noticed that we had stubble on our face. And my mentor goes to me. He goes, "When'd you find this place?" I'm like, "I found it a couple weeks ago. My friend of mine brought me here." Because I came in from the other direction. Because there was two ways of going in. In the beginning of the trail, you can veer off on a small animal trail and go into it, or you could walk down around next to the beaver pond, and then go down the trail and then hit the creek and then walk up the creek trail into that area. Beautiful, man. Beautiful area. That area is basically adjacent to Capitol Forest.
Where is this exactly?
Basically just outside of Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah,
Outside
Capitol Forest in Washington State, Western Washington. It's one of the biggest, largest groupings of forest and mountain range. Small hills, basically.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, what is, again,
that's
really
correct.
tall, obviously very long. They made this a point of it being very long. There's, these. See, what's interesting to me is the Anasazi, something caused them to move locations, but something caused them to build into the hillsides. They would build up into the hills. They would carve out, of the rock and build into the hillside, where they would have to reach by ladders. So,
Yeah.
as if to try to escape something that was very tall, and then you'd see all of these drawings that have these very tall, kind of figures, and then they have these portal type things around them, right? And then we know from history that they built into these rocks that were up really, really high, as if to try to escape something that was very tall that could get them, And then
that is a really good observation.
I mean, it's very interesting. And then there's a lot of legends and stories, maybe not so legends, in the Bible and in native culture. There's a lot about these giant beings, that were 8, 9, 10 feet tall, 11, 12 feet tall, which have seemingly been lost through history. But if you look even in our records, as far as not so distant as the 1800s, you can find still, if you want, look on the internet, you can find news clippings from actual newspapers in the late 1800s, early 1900s, that detail bodies that were being found in caves, being dug up on properties as they were, starting to excavate and build around these, these areas that were basically vacant before. They were finding bodies that were being measured by doctors at the time, and this is all like in publications that were not, these weren't things that were hidden. And they say, we found a cave. There's 3 bodies, that were that they were like seated in these like chair kind of tombs, and they were, we measured them, and they were 11 feet tall, 8, 9, 10 feet tall. And you can find these clippings still if you want to look online. But
there was a black
like
and white picture that I found of basically what you're talking about, and the skull and the whole skeleton was so big. The skull, somebody probably could have crawled inside the skull and fit.
Yeah, there's actually
how big the guy was.
There's a one of the Spanish well, it wasn't the Inquisition. It was when the Spain moved into South America. You know, there was when they were starting to take over South America.
Yeah,
explore.
They pretty much invaded South.
Right, exactly. When they invaded South America,
Mexico.
Yeah, and they were in Peru, and there was a historical. This is in one of the journals, and this is this is real as well. This isn't a theory or story. That this Spanish soldier found a skull that was on the beach by the water, and said that when he measured it, he drew his sword and stuck his sword through the eye socket, and his sword reached to the back of the skull. Like the tip of the sword reached the back of the skull. So he was able to put his sword inside the eye socket and reach to the back of the skull. That's how big this thing was.
Wow.
How big the eye socket was, but how big the skull was. So you got to think how big, that would be. And this is it was in his journal. Now I'd have to look again to see, where this is. I could find it, but this was in his journal of when they were conquering South America. I mean, no reason for him to make this up. This was, they were just journaling their experience, and he had found this. There's a lot of weird stuff in Peru, though. There's a lot of megalithic structures there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And then, of course, Parrot Head. Like, of course, that goes back to Goliath in the Bible. There's also the king of Bashan, Og, the king of Bashan. They gave the measurements of his bed in, I think it was, what did they measure back then? Cubits, which was different measurement that we have today. But when you get those measurements, the bed was about 13 feet long.
Wow.
So, we're talking, 11, 12 footer? Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, yeah, Steve Quayle. I'm very well familiar with Steve Quayle. Steve Quayle's
Crom is strong on his mountain.
I mean, it's...
Little Conan lore.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right.
Love Conan.
Yeah, Conan's really, really good story. There's a lot of other people. Steve Quayle's one of the main guys. There's L.A. Marzulli. That's another big one that I really follow him. He does a lot of the. See, in the Bible, they're called the Nephilim and the Rephaim, are the two.
And what's really interesting about the Nephilim, it's not only talked about in the Bible; it's also talked about in the cuneiform tablets that the Sumerians.
Had. Well, a lot of the
So there's two different sources of information for it, and it's one of those. It's one of those kind of things that, okay, two different things talk about it, and so that shines some light on some truth.
Supposedly, the Sumerian texts would be, if you're looking at it that way, the origin of those stories. That's a theory. So it's not two separate sources,
right.
But that the source would be traced to the Sumerian tablets.
Well, a lot of stories, in different cultures coincide. Some of them, the cultures have touched each other, so you get probably there's some bleed over, mixing of stories. Some of them they haven't, yet the stories still somehow coincide.
Exactly what R.R. was saying.
Yeah.
Offspring of Anunnaki and human.
Yes, the Anunnaki. Yep.
Yeah. So
they liked our women apparently.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's an interesting thing. So in the biblical story is that the fallen ones, there were a number of, I think there were 20. Oh God, I can't remember now. There were 20 some fallen angels that fell. With the rebellion of Lucifer. And fell. And when they came to Earth, they landed on Mount Hermon, which is, in the Middle East. I think it's outside of Turkey, I want to say. And they made a pact to ruin the genetic code of humans because they knew what they were doing once they fell, that there was no going back. So they had made a pact to destroy the human genome, destroy the DNA of humanity. And through this, we have the first was the Nephilim, and it was the offspring of the angels that the Bible in Genesis chapter 6 it talks about the angels who kept not their first estate. They didn't stay in heaven; they were cast down, or they weren't cast down; they left on their own accord, and mixed their seed with women of Earth. They saw the women of Earth, found them to be very desirable, and mixed their seed with them to create this offspring called what we call the Nephilim, basically. And they were the giants, the great men. I think they call them the men of renown in the Bible. It's kind of where we get a lot of our I believe a lot of like the Greek stories. You get your all of exactly. Hercules, Zeus. I think Zeus was probably some form of the fall, maybe Satan himself or some it was different stories where they came and mixed their genetic code, their own angelic genetic code, with ours. And the reason that a lot of in ancient times, like the Hebrew women would wear the veils over their heads, they would wear the coverings, was to block themselves from being viewed from above, from the sky. Because it's very aerial. So any angelic type beings, these fallen ones, because they have the power. See, the Bible talks about different heavens. There's the heavens there's the first heavens, which is our sky, the birds, the sky, all that stuff. There's the second heavens, which is the realm. It's an interdimensional realm of the powers that be, like the principalities, the powers, basically angels, angelic forces, whatever else that consumes that realm. And then there's the third heavens, which is where God, and like the heaven that you think of when you say heaven, where that exists, God's dwelling place. So these powers, there's a lot of aerial stuff attached to them, which is interesting because when you get into the UFO stuff, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that coincide with stories. But the women, the Hebrew women, would wear these face coverings, head coverings, because they would want to block themselves from these powers of the air, these fallen angels, so that they would not be seen, for the beautiful women that they are, their long hair. So they'd have to wear these veils, and that's where you get, that's why in all these, you watch the movies and they're always wearing like coverings over their heads. And you think, it's just whatever, it was fashion or for the sun or something. But no, it was to protect themselves from being seen as desirable from these fallen ones. Yeah. And then the Nephilim, see the flood. So we get into like the flood, which is in all of these stories and throughout cultures, right? They all talk about some sort of flood story. And the flood was basically why the flood happened in the Bible, like the story, is that humanity had become so corrupt, but not, see, a lot of people think it's like sinful. It means, it's so sinful. And then Noah was found, like to be the one who was like sinless or whatever. But that's not true at all. None of that's true. Noah's genetic code was the only pure human DNA left on the planet, because the planet is obviously not as populated as it is now. So there had been from these fallen angels who decided to make a pact and destroy the human genome, corrupt the DNA of humanity so it could not ever be salvageable. Whatever God had created was going to be ruined. So they'd been so successful to such a degree that God had no choice but to destroy everything that was created, but keep Noah, because that was the only human. He was the purest of the genetic code, not the purest of humanity. It wasn't because humanity had become so evil, because you think, well, like after the flood it all happened again, but it wasn't about that. A lot of people just misinterpreted what the Bible's really saying, or they get a different translation which isn't actually the Hebrew translation, so it makes some words change and it can change some meanings. But in the Hebraic text, it's because he was pure in his generation, his DNA was pure, and his family's DNA was pure. So he had to wipe the earth, of basically the Nephilim, this offspring that was never supposed to be. And then you have Noah coming out, repopulating the earth. But of course, it happens again, but it doesn't happen to the same extent. So you have stories afterwards of like Goliath, these beings that were big, but they weren't quite as big as what was going on before the flood. They were because the angelic DNA wasn't, the first angels that had fallen weren't able to do the same thing. They were locked away. into the underworld until the time of the end when they'll be judged. So the second incursion, you could say, is not as strong. So you don't have the same kind of stories or the same kind of Nephilim. So a lot of times they're referred to as the Raphaim.
Say that again.
A lot of times they're referred to as the Raphaim. Raphaim. They're basically like the offspring of the Nephilim. So it's kind of like, it's like almost like when you make a copy of a copy, it's never quite as good, So it kind of gets watered down. And that's sort of what happened after the flood. They couldn't really get back to what they were doing beforehand. But you see throughout the story after the flood, you see these moments where, it keeps calling back to what happened before the flood. You have like the Tower of Babel, again, a lot of people think that they were trying to build like this tower to the sky, but that's not really what it talks about. It talks about them trying to build a portal into the second heavens. They wanted the power, Nimrod wanted the power of the gods that came before. He wanted that power of before the flood, the direct DNA of the angels, the fallen angels. He wanted that kind of power. So they were trying to build a portal to the second heavens to get that power. But, they were not able to do it. God said, no. We've done this once before. I'm not letting this happen again. And he put a stop to it. The Sodom and Gomorrah, again, it's like, a lot of people think it was a town or two towns that were just destroyed because they were so evil. And that's true to an extent, but there's more to it than that. If you read the story, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, there were two angels that were sent in there to basically go and see if there was any good left. But it's not just good. What was going on in that town is they were again trying to access this power. So when these two angels come, and Lot's there, Lot has to lock him away in the house and says, he's telling the townspeople, no, you can't come in here. And they wanted to take the angels and they wanted to have sex with the angels. And you think of how crazy it sounds. But yet when you go back again to what happened before the flood, they knew that this kind of power, that the angels would have this kind of power because it was all coming through this perverse sexual intercourse. So anytime in the Bible where you see something like being destroyed utterly, there's always some kind of connection to either the Nephilim, the Raphaim, the offspring of the fallen angels, or there's some sort of weird angelic communication where these people are trying to, either gain the power of the fallen ones or through sexual means, because that was the way they were doing it back then. But there's always some connection here, because the Bible's there's a lot of stories of the different tribes that were against Israel, and God would say, wipe them out, wipe everything out, women, child, animal, everything in that town, wipe it out. You think, oh my God, that sounds like a homicidal God. But when you start looking at who these people, what tribe were they? Where did they come from? Where was the lineage of these tribes? It all goes back to some sort of Nephilim offspring that the genetic code was not human.
Yeah, and we're talking about one-eyed, horned giants.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff, all the weird stuff that is of legend, but maybe not so. Maybe it wasn't just legend. Maybe that legend was based off of fact.
Yeah.
Oral traditions passed down, all that stuff.
Yeah. And then there's so many cultures that seem to have very similar stories.
Very similar stories.
So, but I mean, it goes, and then that traces. So that's all more of the Old Testament stuff, but it traces right through the New Testament, and a lot of what Jesus was teaching. I mean, it tells like one story of the fallen nature of mankind, through like how fallen nature of just us being not perfect, but also our DNA being tampered with. So it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Indeed. Yeah, it was thought that There's also another theory about the Anunnaki, that they never really came from this world. They came from a different planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the ones that basically taught the Sumerians writing and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff, along with fallen angels and all that stuff, it's freaking fascinating. I've seen so many different things on YouTube that talks about all of it.
Yeah, that's why I look at like this, all these alien things, you know, and because of my belief and what I believe, you know, the Bible says, I think a lot of this stuff is tracing back to that. I think that these things, these entities, I don't think they're from another planet. I think they're interdimensional, and there are also,
well, there's talk about that too.
Yeah, there is
talk about that too.
Yeah, I think they're interdimensional, and I think they're not coming from our plane of existence. I think that's why they're able to, you know, disappear and reappear so quickly. How they're able to break the laws of physics,
Right.
you know, because they're not having to adhere to our laws. You know, wherever they're coming from, whatever these craft are, they're able to break through, you know, our laws of physics.
Well, that's weird looking.
Yeah, I know, right? So I think there's something to. I think there's a connection there, right? And also, if you look at this, if you look at a lot of the stories of what demonic possession was, and what was keeping people awake at night, the night terrors of the ancient days, the same story is told today in the UFO abductions.
Yeah.
You know, it's a similar thing. It's like what was known as demons back then. Now, because, you know, obviously we're of the science age, so most people don't accept that. They want scientific, you know, they believe in more interplanetary and all this stuff. So what do? These higher intelligence, a lot of also people think, you know, angels are like, they think of, like, I don't know, classic little babies with harps, you know, playing harps on clouds. And that's not, you know, angels is a translation of the word messenger. So, you know, when you're talking about angels, or you're talking about messengers, that's what the Hebrew name is for angel. It means messenger. So, you know, you're talking about highly, highly intelligent beings that have been around for, you know, eons and eons and eons and eons. And they know humanity. So, you know, they know how to trick. They know how we think. They know how to trick us. So what they do is they become aliens. Oh, you know, now we're from another, because they deceive as well. So now we're from another planet. You know, you don't believe in the demons anymore, and all this kind of stuff, fairies and all, you know, all these things. So they change the story, and now they're interplanetary, you know, space brothers. Also, the Bible talks about in the end time, there's a great deception that's going to come upon the earth. It's going to deceive all of mankind, you know, if possible. And you know, you wonder, is this play into that? You know, is this tying into that somehow? Look at this thing. Someone's this whatever this is holding the spiral. But it's always a spiral. You know, it's not a shield. Obviously, that's not like that's open ended. That's a spiral. And then you've got all these weird, you know, well, I don't know. These are probably just goats. Maybe I don't know what they are, but they're
weird looking goats.
Yeah, it's a very they're very long, right? It's like,
yeah,
it's not normal.
They haven't been eating very much.
Look at this thing. Look at this spiral with two snakes coming out, two-headed snake.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. And then I don't know what this is all about up here.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Some dangly earrings.
I know, right? Yeah, like it's a Balchinian.
Oh, Balchinian.
Oh, look here. How would they know about this? How would they know about a dinosaur? What is up with that?
Nessie.
Yeah, it could be. I guess it could be Nessie. Yeah, look at that.
It's a brontosaurus.
Yeah, how would they know about
ancient
dinosaurs?
man see dinosaurs. Look at this. How would they know about that? How would they have drawn that?
So did ancient man coexist with dinosaurs?
Well, you know, there's some interesting things found with footprints. You know, a human foot that's in the same sediment layer as dinosaur bones. There's been some interesting things with that. I don't know what to think about that, but there have been some findings of, them finding dinosaur bones, and then they find a human a print of a human foot next to it in the same layer of sediment. So, I don't know. You carbon date things, and you get these readings that are millions of years, but if there was some kind of cataclysmic event, like a great flood that flooded the entire earth and, uprooted sediment and soil, would that skew? Because remember, science is assuming that didn't happen. So if you go by like natural science, then they don't believe a great flood like that happened. But
well, actually, science has actually proven that there were several floods.
Oh, the worldwide floods, though?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
And what a lot of what I found is they said they didn't all happen at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But there was large ones.
Now, if that's true, would that throw off some of the geological, patterns? And
depends on how buried sediment it was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
for
wonder.
sure there was a really big one about 12,000 years ago.
Well, yeah,
that seems to be the one that
that would be the flood of Noah's time period. That'd be about 12,000 years ago.
Yeah, the Great Flood.
Yeah, that would be right. Right. Yeah, look at this again. Looks like a dinosaur.
You gotta remember, everyone's perception of the world was smaller back then.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, look at this.
During the cave drawings or prior to the cave drawings?
What is that, Stegosaurus?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a spiked, but it looks almost like it has horns or something there. If those are horns, it's hard to say. Would you ask, Wes?
I said post the flood period, when maybe some of these drawings were made in caves, the world probably seemed a lot, smaller or bigger. But before the flood, I mean, who knows? I mean, look at the pyramids, the kind of the precision with which the pyramids were made and the longevity the pyramids were clearly intended to have when they were made. So it kind of gives evidence that maybe, there was some higher technology.
Yeah.
And I think Graham Hancock and a lot of those guys were talking about it. That astrology, for example, they use the stars to map time. Well, if nobody knows who Christ is, it's like that TNG episode Darmok and Jalad through Tanagra.
Yeah.
If we don't know who they are, we don't know what the context is. And if nobody knows who Christ is, nobody's going to know what BC or AD means. And so the ancients used astrology and the position of the stars. That's why we have the zodiac and the age of Leo and Cancer and Aquarius. That's why we have that.
Yeah, if you look up the Mazareth, I believe that's right. Let me just make sure that's the Mazareth. Yeah, Mazareth, Mazzaroth. It's a biblical word. It's found in Job, which is, Job is known as the first written book of the Bible, the oldest book in the Bible. Not the first book, because obviously it's Genesis, but the oldest book in the Bible. And basically, the Mazareth is what the zodiac, it's often referred to, or a term for the zodiac, which has become the zodiac. But it's in Hebrew, it's told to tell the story of creation from creation to salvation. So each one of the zodiac signs stands for, a part of the story of the Bible, written in the stars, like way ahead of time, before it was going to happen. Right. And and then the zodiac has kind of taken that and changed it, changed the meanings of it. But the Mazareth is there's a lot to do with the stars and mapping things. I mean, geez, Christ's birth was foretold by following the star, the brightest star that was shining, whatever you want to believe that is. But yeah, the ancient pyramids, they all line up to the constellations.
Yep, Orion's belt. Yeah.
And it'd be impossible to do that. And they're also all on the 33rd parallel, which again, 33 being a high number in a lot of things, Freemasonry, 33 was the year was the age of Christ when he was crucified. There's 33 is a very high number in a lot of things. So, and they're all in the 33rd parallel, which is also very interesting. They match up to the stars, and they're on the 33rd. There's no way to do that in ancient times unless you have a higher technology, that's facilitating this for you.
Absolutely. I mean, and the position of the stars, I think it's not even 12,000 years. It could be 24,000 years. That the other age of Leo, not the last age of Leo, but the age of Leo prior to the age of Leo. That are we in Leo? Or what are we in right now?
Aquarius was.
I think we're headed into Aquarius right now. We're heading into Aquarius from Leo, right? We're at the end of Leo.
Let's see, age.
Damn it. Pisces. No, we're in Pisces.
Oh, we're in Pisces. Aquarius was the last
right.
one, I think. Wasn't Aquarius the last one?
No. I think Leo was. God damn it! I'm getting stream brain here. Hold on. Age of Pisces, and supposedly a lot of Christ ties into Pisces because of the fish and the fish symbology. Yeah,
Christ is the
Yep.
Well, you look at the. I don't know. I'm not thinking too religious or anything, but I mean, you look at what the Bible says about the end times and the state of the world. During the what would be like the tribulation, going into like the tribulation period, or the times of the end, times of Jacob's trouble. There's a lot of different ways. The great day of the Lord. There's a lot of different terms for the end times period, and you look at all the things that Jesus said to watch for. He said, "Here's a list of signs to watch for." When this stuff is all happening, that the end is coming, and if you look at it, I mean, it's like a checklist of things that we could check off everything that's happening right now at once at levels that have never been seen. There's always been things that have been happening. There's this,
right.
There's that, and so you could say, well, it's always happened through time, and yes, that's true, but it's not all happened at once at the high level that it's happening today, and at a period where everyone in the world can know what's going on over the entire world. Jesus said things that were like, look for earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, that's like earthquakes. There's going to be a lot of earthquakes, and they're going to be in random places, diverse places, all over the world, right? Well, in any time prior to the internet, no one would be able to tell when there's an earthquake in, Guadalajara. We would not know that. So it's impossible for that to come true. Now, everyone on the planet knows exactly when an earthquake hits anywhere in the world within seconds if you want to. I have an app that tells me, everywhere in the world I have it set for like over a 5.0. So if there's an earthquake anywhere at a 5.0, within a minute, I'll know. So there's certain things that were impossible to happen in the way that we're told to watch for them, because it was just impossible for anyone to know that before. But now you can know.
There's been a lot of earthquakes.
Oh, I know.
And those particular earthquakes, there's one huge thing that accompanies an earthquake, and that's a P wave.
What's that?
It's the Geiger counter that reads when the earthquake hits. It's a P wave. It should be in there. If there's no P wave, that means that it wasn't a natural earthquake.
Wow, really? I did not know about this.
And they've been happening all over the United States. They've been happening all over the world, matter of fact. And the United States it just happens to line up with certain underground facilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. So the astrological ages last about 2,000 years. So Pisces started around 1 AD, and depending on who you believe, it either ended and we're in Aquarius from 1994, or as late as 2,654.
2006? Wait. 1994 or 2,600?
Well, that's the range, but generally speaking, it looks like 2150 is when Pisces turns to Aquarius, according to this.
2150. Oh, so it either just happened or we're another 100 some years away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, right, Pisces, the fish, always known kind of the symbol of Christianity, and we would be considered in the church age, if you look at the dispensations of time that's in the Bible, then we would be like in the age of Pisces, church age. It's interesting.
It is.
Well,
It
it's
really
kind
is.
of a good thing that we don't live in the old age of the church when they had absolute control.
Oh man,
Yeah.
there's been such corruption.
Because the half of us have probably been burnt at the stake.
Well, this
Well,
is-
not just that. They had a bunch of different torture methods they used.
The Spanish Inquisition. Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
See, that's the thing of like corruption of using religion, in the name of power,
Right.
or using it as a reason to do things that are not outlined in the Bible to do. But that's what happens when you have corrupt powers that grab this stuff. Yeah, look at this, 6 fingers. There's another thing you'll find in like historic records when they're digging these bones up. You can, again, these are like in the late 1800s, early 1900s. In newspapers in America, in the towns in America, they were reporting this stuff, and you'd hear a lot of 6 fingers, 6 toes, and red head. That was that's a common, the red hair, 6 fingers, 6 toes.
I had a math teacher actually that was really good when I was in junior high school because I had a lot of really bad math teachers, and she was talking about how there are different bases. Like we count in tens because we have 10 fingers and 10 toes, but there's like base 6 and base. It's all based on, instead of 10, multiples of 10, it'd be like multiples of 6 or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that the whole reason our number system is the way it is because we have 10 fingers.
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. It's easier to count that way. Oh, that's interesting.
It'd be interesting
I
to
found
find
it pretty
that
interesting.
if they found mathematics matched up with people that had
Right.
digits.
Yeah, 12 digits. That would be base 12. You're basing it on 12, and then it restarts.
I don't know where they got this from, but this another 6 fingers here.
I had a friend that had 6 toes.
I had a friend also that had just 6 toes on one foot, I believe. I think it was on one foot.
We were hanging out at the bar one night, and nightcap after the bar, and smoky tokey, woohoo, and he goes, "Guess what, guys? I got 6 toes." And we both look. Me and my other friend look at each other. We're like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, really." And we were because we walked home from the bar, so we were kind of toasted.
Yeah.
And so we got more toasted. So none of us was going to drive anywhere. And he pulls his shoes and socks off and wiggles his 6 toes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he walk funny?
No. Walk normal.
Yeah, neither did that.
His feet looked normal. The difference is he had 6 toes on each foot.
Damned. Like 2 middle toes or 2 little toes?
They looked normal.
Wow.
Only difference is he had 6 toes.
Damn, man, the bone that connects to your toes goes all the way through your foot too.
He had another bone.
Yeah.
They were perfectly formed 6-toe feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same with my friend. They look normal. It was just like another pinky. Looked like an extra pinky.
Wow. Yeah, you can't just slice the pinky off. If he wanted to get rid of the toe, he'd have to get rid of that whole bone.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Probably better just keeping the pinky.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, someone with 6 toes could probably run faster and be more agile.
Yeah, you think you'd have better balance?
Maybe.
Look here. Look at this.
Well, I got horrible alignment. I'm pigeon-toed
Yeah.
on one foot, and I've got like really high arches. I'd be a horrible athlete.
Now you need a 6 toe.
Yeah, a 6-toe would solve everything.
Yeah, let's even that out. Yeah, look at this. Looks like a stegosaurus, right? And then looks like also like some kind of serpent here. You have the eye, the nose.
Domesticated stegosauruses?
Wow.
It's weird, right? I mean, where would you? Where do you? There's a horn here. I don't know if that's supposed to be. It's just I'm not sure if that's part of it. Looks like.
Is that like a goat? Can't tell.
Yeah.
Looks like a boar or a pig. Is that a pig?
Oh, look, it's okay. So this is
Goat and a no. Okay, there's a Stegosaurus. Yeah, okay, I see it now.
this is the Stegosaurus
That
here.
looks like
I'm not
a
sure
calf.
what this is.
This looks like a calf.
Yeah, were they coexisting, or what is this? What exactly is this saying? Oh, here's 3 of them. Let's see what we got here. All right, there's the 2 we've seen, and then what's this thing? Oh, look, another also like some kind of spine.
Weird things out of its spine.
Yeah, I don't know what that is there. If that just broke, or if there was some kind of something in there. Yeah,
Stick your hand in there and it bites it off.
Oh, this is in Cambodia.
Wow.
Hides a dinosaur. Huh.
Yeah, Cambodia has pyramids.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it looks like maybe it was broken off. Whatever the.
Oh wow.
And then look at this devilish looking.
Yeah,
The
look like
tail?
an imp. Is that an imp?
Yeah, look, it's
Long
got
there.
like look at the hoofs.
It looks
got
like
hoofs.
this is an
A
imp.
tail. It's got something there. We all know what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, that's fairy. That's in fairy folk that would be considered an imp, I think.
An imp. Okay. Yeah.
Not
I mean,
not very friendly things, I would say.
does not look very friendly. Doesn't
well,
look
it
like
seems to be smiling.
I guess it
unless
is
that's
smiling,
a
but it could be a sadistic
beard.
smile.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is a slightly sadistic smile. Yeah.
I'm not trusting that thing. If I run into it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely
Oh, here's
not.
okay. Here we go. Look at this. Here we go. Here's the whole thing.
I think a hardcore instinct to cut its head off with a sword would be my instinct.
Yeah,
Look, it looks kind of like a totem pole,
it does almost look like a totem pole.
but
Yeah.
totem poles are a North American thing.
This is Cambodia.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish I don't know what those are. It looks like something, maybe some kind of being covering the head and of another person here. Some praying maybe or something.
And
then
you
can't
gotta
tell.
assume when this thing was probably made, that was probably painted, and the detail work was probably highlighted by the paint on it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say so.
Wow. I bet that was really something to see.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's see if I can go back. I thought there was something interesting here too. Oh, here, look at this. I don't know what this. Look at that. This can't be real. Come on. That's clearly like a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
But what's that from? This could be carved tree.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, but this is probably. I don't think
Well,
this
a
is
tree.
ancient.
Yeah, how long would a tree
Yeah,
last?
I don't think this is ancient. I think this is
Which
just,
one?
This whatever this dinosaur carving is. I'm guessing that's not ancient though.
It's not
Not like these. Like this stone. Like that's obviously clearly very old.
weathered.
Yeah, but I don't think that dinosaur in the tree. Oh, whoops! I'm pretty sure that's not. That's not no.
Looks like.
Ooh, look at that!
Yeah. What is that?
Well, that's a elephant there,
One thing above the
Anteater
other.
Something.
but
They got
then
lost.
it's like a dragon. It actually looks like a dragon. Look, some sort of horse.
It
Capricorn?
kinda reminds me of those Black Plague masks that people used to wear.
Is that the
Oh.
god that tried to come alive
yeah.
in Conan the Barbarian?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it looks like a horse type thing with a tail and a dragon's head. But look at this.
Anteater.
Look at how small. Whatever, I mean, this is a baby
No, it's
elephant.
like a human female maybe.
Unless
There's
it's-
hair and legs and oh wait, hold on, never mind. I thought I saw hair and legs and something, but it's just no.
over the elephant.
Yeah, it's two different things.
Look at the head. Look at the head.
Zoom in.
It looks like a woman.
That's as far as I can zoom. This looks like a woman. I'm seeing the
The head.
head. Yeah.
Look at the hair. You see the hair?
Well, I think that's the ear. I think it's wearing.
Okay.
It's wearing like jewels, like Indian, like like a. That's like a headpiece, and this is like the cape that would go over its back. The human would be riding up here. I think that's the ears.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's
Yeah,
just
now
like
I see the back.
It is.
Okay, I see
It
the
is
back.
an elephant.
Yeah.
That's the elephant. in the
Okay,
bottom.
yeah.
There's the
Now I see the
legs.
back. I was just looking at the front part.
There's the tail there. Yeah, here's the back, and then the head. The trunk goes up around here, and then the tusks have been cut off here. You see the tusks there. There's the mouth. Yeah, that's definitely an elephant.
It's two
Well,
elephants.
No,
Why is the elephant so small compared to whatever the heck this thing is?
Demon above the elephant. Weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this weird thing is here. I don't know what's it's another. So it's grabbing onto its own tusk. So it's like a horse thing that has a tail that has a dragon's head, but it has like a tusk of an elephant because this elephant's tusk is wrapped around this elephant's tusk.
I'm
Or
not
trunk.
seeing the elephant on the smaller one. I don't know what.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the trunk. Right here's the tip of the nose. Okay, here's the trunk, and then here's the head. Here's the eyeball. There's the back of the head. Here's the ear, and then here's the back. Here's the tail. Here's the one leg.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
the other leg. Yeah, see it? Here's the other leg.
Oh, wow.
here's the mouth.
See, I thought up there where you say the trunk is, I thought that was the face of a woman with like hair.
Oh no! That's the trunk. See, this trunk is wrapping around. this
Oh,
trunk.
okay. Now I see what's going on.
Yeah. And then here's the
I
top.
thought like the very front of that face, yeah, right there where the mouse is. I thought that was a
Yeah.
nose,
Oh,
a
okay.
nose of a human woman, and that's like the neck, and then.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Wow, I was way off.
Yeah.
RR says that's definitely an elephant. All right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was one of those, minotaurs or something. Maybe it's half woman, half something.
Yeah, those things are interesting too. Oh, look at this. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, monitor lizard or something.
Yeah. It's interesting.
A little
Sorry.
more than monitor, I'd say.
Yeah. It's hard to tell
Buddy,
without.
a buddy of
Komodo
mine
dragon.
used to have a Nile monitor. He raised it as a pet.
Yeah, it could be
Those
like
things are cool. I want one.
You ever seen a Nile monitor that was 10 feet long? I have. He used to hang out with us all the time. And you know how
10 feet long.
Yeah, it was 10 feet long. He raised it from a baby. Nile monitor.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was just one of the fellas. He'd hang out. He'd come over and greet me and say hi and wait to be petted and then go back. Just pretty fucking awesome, I gotta say. Beautiful.
That's a big 10 feet long. That's pretty big.
Yeah. It might have got probably a little bigger, but it was living in a house.
No.
It had the run of one room. Yeah, had its own space.
Well, after communing with waterfowl, I believe anything now. I think that animals, you can have that connection, that they will chill out with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He just was like he was very dog-like. He expected to get attention at certain times. Wanted to hang out with the fellas,
Yep.
Most people that ever would see a Nile monitor would freak out in its natural habitat,
Forbidden history. Dinosaur and human footprints together.
Oh no, Mr. Bill.
Oh my, oh my. Yeah. It does look like it's toes. It's a big.
Is that a child's foot?
Well, no, I mean, think if that's a dinosaur foot. That's
Yeah, I
still
think about that for a
pretty
minute.
big human foot.
Well, I guess people, the average height used to be a lot shorter too.
Yeah.
Like it used to be really rare for people to be over 6 feet, but
I guess here's another picture of it.
oh, okay, that looks more like an adult foot there.
Almost looks more like a hand.
Well, you can see the ball.
Oh no,
foot.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess also the toes are smaller than fingers would be compared to the. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Yeah, I mean
I think they've got a highish arch too, so I can relate to that.
Oh, that is a footprint.
Yeah, right. It's interesting.
It really is.
Must be a small dinosaur. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit.
But hey, there's some small dinosaurs, man, in packs that would kill you.
Oh yeah.
Slightly bigger than tigers,
Well, and it's interesting. We don't know what dinosaurs look like either. We don't know what they're outside of them. We just assume they were like reptilian, but a lot of archaeologists believe that they were feathered and more bird-like. We don't really know. We're just guessing a lot of this stuff. We watch Jurassic Park and think, well, that's it. That's what they look like, but we don't know.
That's right.
They might not have looked like that. What is this? This is pretty funny. Wow. Imagine coming across that thing.
What is that?
Says I'm the waterfowl god king. Yeah, I saw that. He saw that stream. So if you had seen that stream, you would believe that I was the waterfowl god king. It was something else. I'm telling you, man, I've communed with waterfowl in a way that few human beings have.
You were feeding the birds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this seems to be like the biggest. Oh yeah, okay. So here's the footprint. Okay, yeah. So here's the toes, and the big toe, and then goes.
This must be privately owned because the Smithsonian would have had it hidden or destroyed.
Yep. Yeah, I'd like to know. Yeah, I got to do some more digging.
Looks really clean.
Yeah.
It's probably a mold. They probably made a mold of it so that way the original wouldn't get disappeared.
That's probably true. The Delk footprint, I guess that's what it's known as, the Delk footprint.
Delk or duck?
Yeah. Looks like it says Delk, D-E-L-K there. Yeah, see there, Delk.
Delk.
So you could do some more research on it, see if it's, what they say about it. Or if someone's proved it's a fake, I don't know. But, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, parrot head. Yeah, I did an experiment. I told you about it, but basically, waterfowl are like human beings in that they prefer junk food over food that's supposed to be healthy for them. And
so they'll take the fries over the bread?
Way over the bread. Like all of them in the park came, and I've never seen so many birds in one place ever.
Wow. Yeah, I've there's an old superstition about seagulls, especially if you live in near coastal areas and sailors and stuff like that that go in the water. One of the things you never do, man, you don't kill seagulls. You don't hurt seagulls. Bad luck.
Seagulls, I saw a bunch of seagulls this past couple days.
Because we have
They're very friendly.
Yeah, we have the white gulls and we have the gray gulls that are grayish too.
Yeah. I like seagulls. I got nothing against them.
The ducks and geese seem to not like the seagulls, but they seem to have no problem with the pigeons. So like the pigeons and...
That's an interesting dichotomy.
Yeah, the geese and the ducks were all pretty much peacefully coexisting for the most part.
Yeah, I would say geese and ducks. There's a pond over at one of the parks that my kids like to go to. It's a fairly nice sized pond, and the geese and ducks love it. And there's 3 different types of ducks that get along, and the geese get along. And there's an eagle that roosts, a bald eagle, not too far away.
Yeah, eagles are cool, but I'm telling you, I put the McDonald's fries down, and they came from all over the park to get those McDonald's fries.
Man, there must be some scent down the air with those things. That is crazy. Yeah, the ravens and the seagulls will fight each other for fries.
The ravens and the seagulls?
Yeah. Because every McDonald's, like the ravens and the seagulls, they know there's going to be French fries on dumping. People gonna either accidentally dump their fries out, or they're just gonna throw their fries out the window or something like that with seagulls. And so it's like they know that they're gonna do it, and so they just wait. And I've seen ravens and seagulls fight each other for the fries, and a lot of times the ravens win.
Yeah, those ravens are mean.
Yeah. Basically, the seagulls will just sit back and wait for the ravens to grab whatever they want and fly away, and the seagulls swoop in and grab the rest.
Well, I mean, I guess it beats the shit out of eating worms, you know. I like McDonald's French fries.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is the most that I've streamed in a while, man. I gotta say.
Yeah, it's been
3 streams yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on Chris Knight's stream earlier in the afternoon. Then I was my live stream, and then Wes's live stream.
Yep. This is 3 for me today too. I think I've been streaming since.
Yeah, I guess it's 3 for me as well.
Man, what was that? Holy crap! When was the
So
first?
so hey, should we all send rainbow dong pictures to Steven?
To Steven. He's already got him posted up in his bedroom.
Yeah, they're hanging up somewhere.
He's
Posted
got all
on
the.
wall.
I will have to check out that show though, not for that reason, but because everyone seems to like it so much.
Oh, it's a great show.
You should invite Rainbow Dong on a stream. Have him on. Send him the StreamYard link.
Wow, look at this.
Ooh.
Dragon breathing fire. I mean,
That
The
looks
hell is
like
that shit?
it's either
I know
weird tongue
what-
or fire.
yeah, or a weird tongue. Yeah, I mean, it looks definitely like fire to me.
Looks like fire to me too.
Huh? That's interesting. I wonder where this is coming from. Dinoglyphs. Oh, here's a whole page. Maybe I should actually share this page. There's all kind of different dinosaur.
Yeah, you
relics.
see, the thing to get the seagulls to not shit on you, pretty much, is you throw them some fries, and then they tend to not do that. You'd be surprised that a seagull gets pissed if you don't throw it a couple fries if you're sitting down somewhere. You know, as far as they're concerned, you're in its spot.
Yeah.
It's an interesting website here. I just happened to come across. It says out of place artifacts carved, hewn, and painted by our common forefathers. What if man and dinosaur coexisted after all? What if evolution is one damn sack of lives for the initiated? I guess there's all these different ancient, drawings and sculptures and stuff about dinosaurs that they shouldn't really know existed at that point.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't able to dig these things up and put them together without modern technology.
Yep.
I would think. Like we are, but yeah, nevertheless, there's all these different drawings and sculptures of what looks a lot like dinosaurs. Or dragons. Sea creatures. It definitely looks like a sea creature there.
Oh wow.
And then, you have a lot of ancient drawings that look like this. This guy here. Kind of Loch Ness Monster type creature.
Yeah.
I mean, look how big that is compared to the ship. I mean, it's probably in the distance, but still. Well, that's pretty big. I'd say.
Drawing? That's a drawing, right?
Yeah.
So I
in
think
other
the
words,
answer to your question, Parrot Head, is neither Michelle Obama.
Where's bigger George? Yeah, some crazy things here.
Did I just see dragons?
There definitely are dragons here.
Yeah. Vaguely dragon-esque. Yeah.
That's definitely type of dragon. That's like a dragon there. Dinosaurs. I mean, dinosaurs and dragons look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Look at this. A human fighting with some kind of dragonish dinosaur type lizardy creature.
So all the lore of knights fighting dragons. Gotta wonder about that sometimes.
Yeah, is it just lore?
Is it lore, or was it a thing that really actually happened?
Yeah. Based on some guy true though. Look at this.
Coins.
Poor guy's getting eaten.
And they ended
yeah.
up slaying all the dragons, and well, you know. That,
Right.
What's on these coins?
Oh, this is a guy riding a horse. Can't really.
That's a knight.
Yeah, that's a knight. Yep. Oh, yeah. Look underneath here, it's a dragon on like a stick or something.
Stick through its mouth.
Yep.
The horse trampling the dragon.
Yep. Another one here, same thing. He's got his spear pointed down, and then there's like a dragon. So
Different language.
Yep.
Is that Gaelic?
Mm,
I wonder if that's Gaelic. D-A-V-D.
D-A-V-D-S-C-O-E-D-O. I mean, it's hard to tell. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely 3 knights, and they're all like fighting some sort of creature. Dragonish, lizardish, dinosaurish type creature. Oh, here's another one. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where this is. Marijapon? Just pronouncing that wrong. Anyway, yeah. Sticking the dragon through the air. Oh, look at this.
What do we got there?
Look at these
A
knight
Viking ship?
winged, yeah, it looks like Vikings. With swords. These look more like the Spanish soldiers, like conquistadors or something. And then you have these flying winged creatures.
Why are they? Why is there? Is that as far as you can zoom in on that?
Yeah, it's as far as
that is a Dane style. It's Viking style ship, because you can see the shields, because all the shields get put in place along the side.
Yeah.
They don't take the shields off until they actually need to use them when they're fighting.
Yeah, look at they've got these guys, right? Which look to be now they're not coming from the ship. This is somebody else, right? The Vikings are looks like they're coming to, and then these guys are waiting to fight them. But then you got these you got all these winged creatures here, but there's a one there, one here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got these winged creatures all over
7
here.
dragons.
Yeah, it's weird with this weird tail thing and feathers and then some kind of head.
And they look a little apprehensive. The guy on foot looks like he wants to run away.
This guy, yeah, it looks like he's like looking over.
He's like,
Looking
I
over.
need a horse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got one on his back. Look, there's one right there, on his back.
Oh yeah, it's small. It's attacking them.
Yeah. Boy, I think there's one there on its back. I think there's one here on its back. Man, these things are attacking them like that's crazy.
Ooh.
I don't know who's running from who here,
Yeah.
but they're definitely being attacked by these, or they're on the same side as these things. I don't know. I don't know if that's like if he's like catching a ride, piggybacking off them,
Really.
or if they're.
It's like redstone below it.
Oh yeah, but look at his arm. It looks like this guy's attacking him, and his arm's like trying to get him off. Like he's trying to swat him away.
Oh yeah.
Get off me. See, you can see his thumb there and his fingers.
Oh yeah.
Looks like he's trying to swat this thing away, maybe. Or he's reaching for it. Yeah, we're definitely wearing armor.
Yeah, think about him wearing armor.
I don't know, that's crazy.
No, do good against a dragon breathing fire.
Yeah.
Armor will cook you.
I would like to know where that comes from.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, the Bible. Yeah, see, in Job, it talks about these huge creatures called the Behemoth and the Leviathan, and I believe it's the Leviathan. It talks about having a tail like a cedar trunk. Well, sounds like a dinosaur tail. Or maybe it's the Behemoth. The Leviathan, I think, was a sea creature. I might be getting that mixed up, but I think it was maybe the Behemoth that had the tail like a cedar. It's one of the two. But a tail like a cedar. That sounds like a brontosaurus tail, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is that
Yeah.
what? Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
That's wild.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Wow. Throw that link in the creator chat.
Okay, yeah, well,
Twitter. Yeah, I threw a picture of that elephant in there.
yeah. Elephants. Interesting. Impaled the dragon. Yeah, looks like it impaled the dragon. Yeah, every culture has dragons in their myth. Yeah, isn't it interesting? Like, if every culture has this, I think it may be based on some kind of truth. They're all coming up with this stuff separately out of their own imaginations. When you have multiple cultures all around the world that coming up with very similar type stories or creatures or beings, they weren't telecommunicating like we are today. So
No.
you got to think they must have been based on something they were actually experiencing at the time. I mean, that's what you would think. Never a raid when you need it. Yeah.
Look at all the artifacts that they got pictures of.
There's so many. Yeah, and then you have just the volume of them.
And it looks like quite a bit of these are pipes. Some of them are pipes.
Oh.
There's a pewter, it looks with like silver and pewter dragon pipe. You gotta remember, pipes were very significant in early cultures.
Yeah, right.
A lot of times they were used to pray with.
Oh, yeah, here, look, right there.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about,
Yeah.
the dragon pipe.
Yeah.
There was a couple stone pieces looked like they were pipes.
Yeah. It's interesting.
There is amazing things in this right here. Man, them coins are interesting.
Yeah, they are. Those coins are interesting. Yeah.
And if you remember some of the lore that we learned about some of those people in the shadows that represent the dragon
Mm-hmm.
in those bloodlines, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there, and it's amazing how the lore and the things that are actually going on in reality aren't really lore anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They get improved every day, man. And we're finding out more and more about all these ancient things. And we're discovering that some of these ancient things haven't gone away.
Yeah, they never really did.
No.
Well, if you look at something like the internet's kind of like an oracle.
Yeah.
And AI is kind of like an oracle.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have swore I heard a rumor about an AI lawsuit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Big one.
Oh.
I'm still waiting to hear more news about that.
Okay, I haven't heard about that yet.
Well,
Interesting.
There's lawyers have access to certain websites, and there's certain websites you can go into it's like anything anywhere where indictments are being filed. Once they've been unsealed, you can go and you can request copies of those indictments if they're public record.
Yeah, it becomes public information.
Right. And there's a lot of really interesting information I found. And there was another YouTuber that was going through it. There was some interesting stuff in there, man.
Wow.
Oh man, there's some people going down, man. Oh man. And if it's not for treason, if it's not for high crimes, it's gonna be for the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be basically them financially being sued. and we're talking like multi-billion-dollar lawsuits.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It could get that big, and from what I've seen, and so I kind of hope and this it involves social media, put it that way, and it could change things completely for the better, I would say, because and it's the same thing with access media going after people that want good stories. Geez, we want good stories. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
It's the same thing. Eventually, everything will come out, and man, some people, the way they're going to experience it, it's going to be a giant ice bucket of water being dumped on them, the size of a house. Someone's going to be warm water, someone's going to be ice cold. Someone's going to get sand dumped on them, and this is going to be how people are going to react to everything that's been going on. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Everything that's been going on, it's just freaking crazy, man. And you can tell those that scream the loudest and those that clamp down with censorship that, you know what, maybe someone's saying something that other people don't want said. Maybe they don't want others to be enlightened.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? More and more people are waking up. And the more people wake up, you're not going to unwake them. They're going to be awake now. And basically with access media, with entertainment, and with the media themselves. There's a saying, their mouths are moving, they're lying.
Yeah, that's good.
Their mouths are moving, they are lying. And you know what? That can be said amongst anybody. The majority of people in the federal government or any government. Shit, you go look at the aldermans in Chicago, man. That is some of the most corrupt politicians I ever seen in my life. I used to watch them. I like to use Guterres as an example. Representative Guterres, he was one of the most corrupt aldermen in Chicago. I watched that guy from his really young career all the way through all the news and all that. He had his hands in everything. They could never really make anything stick, but everybody knew he was corrupt as hell. And that was just Chicago politics. That's what I grew up with. Man, them people are corrupt as hell.
Well, Obama came out of that, so I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And it really, Obama was just really a transplant. He transplanted himself. He was what most people consider a carpetbagger. Like Hillary Clinton in New York was a carpetbagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had lips moving. They're lying. Exactly. And basically that's the alphabet media. That's all the media. I mean, even Fox News is guilty of it to a certain degree. They're pretty bad, and maybe you can get halfway decent news with Newsmax and Onan, and but still, though, a lot of the majority of all the media, they're connected with only 6 corporations, large corporations.
Right.
How can there be any truth when 6 large corporations own the media?
Yeah.
Yep.
They can make their own news, and they do. I mean, basically we can go through and we can go look at the movies and look at reality and look at all this. It's like you can't really tell from what's what. You know what I'm saying? And it's like what was that Jim Carrey movie? You referenced it earlier.
Truman Show?
Yeah, the Sherman Show.
Truman Show.
We're in the fucking Sherman Show, man.
Truman Show.
Yeah, we're in the Truman Show, and we're fucking waking up, and they don't like it.
Yeah. Well, what is it? What do they say? Television. It's like if you break it down, the word it's tell a vision.
Right.
Whose vision are they telling?
Yeah. And the thing is, there is a lot of society that's just waking up. You can go look all around the world. There's a worldwide movement, and there's people waking up. And it's good. Gotta wake up, man. Gotta wake up. You know? And we know if you go woke, you go broke. We know that. That's one of the lessons that Disney's having a real hard time learning right now.
Man, yeah, they just want to keep trying.
They're not learning their lessons either, you know. But you see, it's all propaganda. It's part of their agenda. Their agenda is to tear man down, make man look bad, and it don't sell. But yet they don't care. Somebody in that corporation has control. Someone has said, "Hey, let's go do this, this, and that," and they're in control, and so they make these decisions. And they're not good decisions. They're bad decisions. And so that's why we got bad Star Trek. That's why we didn't get anything good. And that's why what we got with Orville was good, because, you know, someone cared about that. You know, Orville's really more real than the Star Trek that we got.
Well, apparently that's because Seth wanted to create a Star Trek show, and they told him no. So he's decided, all right, well, I'm going to create, you know, a show that's basically better than your Star Trek, but not call it Star Trek because he couldn't. But
his attitude was, "The hell with you! I'm going to go make something better than you."
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll make it beat your Star Trek.
Yeah, and so you got all these corporations that are making all these decisions, and you got all these little puppet strings and all these little puppets being told what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can trace, and there's a little thing called the strings. You know what the strings are? It's the money. Follow the money. If you follow the money, you follow it back to the people that are paying for certain things to be done.
Yeah.
Purposely being sabotaged. You know? Basically, it's what I would call the manure of lawsuits that could happen, because basically you got IPs being ruined. Look at what they did to Luke Skywalker, man. You know, that in itself, if George Lucas decided to say, you know what, it's time to file a lawsuit because you ruined the character I created, and there's laws. There are laws that protect created iconic characters.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone wanted to sue over it, if he wanted to, he could. Because it's even stated in Iger's book that they purposely misled him.
Yep. Yep, they admit to it.
And you gotta be like,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's a lawsuit waiting to happen there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's gotta be, you know, there's gotta be a price. Someone's just like in National Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to pay the price. You know what I'm saying? Someone's got to pay the piper, because you know what? The fans basically seen all this stuff happening, and why didn't you just ask all the fans and then one by one and go up to them and slap them as hard as you can across the face? Because that's what they did when they did that with Luke Skywalker. Ruined his character. And that's what they may have well done that, because they spiritually smacked the hell out of all of us right across the face. And from everything that's been happening, it looks like Kathleen Kennedy is at fault.
Yeah, she killed off Han in the first movie. She killed off Luke in the second movie, and she killed off Leia in the third movie.
And now you look at, and I think Iger, I think the only reason why, if he stepped in and made some decisions, that's because he was embarrassed into it. Because what Kathleen Kennedy was so embarrassing, he had to step in.
Yeah.
After he and 1,000 other CEOs all of a sudden stepped down, I don't know if 1,000, but there was a lot of freaking CEOs that stepped down at the same time. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, and you
so there were like 60.
60. of major corporations.
Yep. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's 160 chiefs.
Mhm.
160 chiefs so far.
And I hear there's more
That was
resignations.
20. That was as of December 2019. Yeah, 160 leaving their post in December 19.
Oh, you want to hear another thing that's really interesting? I guess the one person that came from Wuhan that landed here in Seattle. The same time that happened was the same time impeachment.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The timing of
Was,
that. Yeah, it was the same week.
I mean, you don't have to be about politics to think that's fucking weird.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like the same week that they had filed for the impeachment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like, well, that's fucking weird.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, it's like shit out of fucking movies is happening. It's like reality is imitating the movies.
Yeah.
Literally, we're watching a fucking movie. Only it's real.
I know you keep waking up thinking you're still dreaming.
Exactly. And it's like we have this perpetual feeling of this giant fucking pink elephant that nobody wants to fucking get rid of or acknowledge. And okay, we're just gonna let the pink elephant keep sitting on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see, there's a way we can do things. You know, we can talk about things without being dinged. We can just call it the pink elephant. Pink elephant can cover a lot of things.
Yeah. General term.
Yeah. And we can have a chuckle with it and have a laugh. That's what I like. You know. My one of my favorite musicians was Warren Zevon. He'd play piano or he'd play acoustic, and all these yuppies would come and see. Well, I think
Werewolves of London, right?
Yeah. I've seen him twice before he died. And, you know, all the suits that were there, he would make fun of them to their faces and they'd laugh right along with him. If you ever get a chance to see some live performances of his, search YouTube, and you will see him. He will make fun of the suits in the audience. They don't even fucking know it, man. He's fucking making fun of them. I watched it happen twice. I went to see him 2 years in a row at the Star Theater in Maryville, Indiana. And it was fucking awesome, man. Hot Tuna opened for Warren Zevon, and they flipped the audience off and left and stormed out because the audience was obviously a bunch of paper assholes. And yeah, Pink Elephant's on parade. And that was one of the things that he was just great at. He could totally like talk down to them and they wouldn't fucking know it. That was great. And these people are what you would consider normies.
Right.
So yeah, you got all this really weird, freaky ass shit going on. So yeah.
Did Elon Musk? Was he on Joe Rogan? No.
Yeah, he was on second
He was
time.
on? Wow.
Yeah, for second time he was on.
It's recently, huh?
Yep, just a couple of days ago. Yeah, it was a good interview.
Yeah, I have to watch that. I see he told Joe Rogan that the lockdowns are unconstitutional.
Yeah, he went even further than that. He's like,
Really?
Wow.
if you were to get eaten by a shark and they found an arm and they tested the arm for COVID-19 and it was positive, they would say that person died from COVID-19.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I have been hearing some weird stories of how they're diagnosing things.
Yeah,
Certain places or certain people, but interesting. I have to watch that.
And he also said that he's going to move what's left of Tesla factories out of California into Nevada because of the response from Governor Newsom.
Oh, well, because of his over-the-top response. I mean?
Yep. Well, it is an over-the-top response.
Isn't
I mean,
Nevada a Republican state?
Oh,
Their
What?
governor.
Nevada? Oh, I don't know.
Nevada,
I
I think Nevada's like a purple state.
At all. Oh, I haven't heard nothing about Nevada at all. It is.
Well, they have no income tax, so it makes, why would you be in California in the first place if there's Nevada right there?
Hmm.
I'll tell you, man, you go into a wealthy neighborhood in California, you see nothing but Nevada plates on those cars. So that tells you, A, about how much they think about voting, how much voting matters, and B, that they're not paying a 9 to 13% income tax in California. They're listing their residence, their primary residence in Nevada, where there's no income tax. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it's mostly a Republican.
Well, are you guys looking forward to income tax being abolished?
Oh, if that would have happened, oh man, that would be amazing. We should have just a standard. We should have a consumer tax. You're taxed on what you buy, what you spend, not on what you make. Yeah,
Yep.
Sales tax.
Yep.
Just I guess it's consumption tax would be. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Oh man, that'd be amazing.
Well,
Could it be true?
At some point, I mean,
It's
based on how much debt we're carrying,
basically,
probably.
isn't in most state taxes on stuff that you buy? Isn't there federal excise tax also included with that?
I believe so.
Hey, what's up,
So,
Alan? Man?
yeah. We're taxed to death, man. I think it's ridiculous. It's like 35 to 40% of your income goes to taxes, sales taxes, vehicle licensing fees.
What's up, Toxic Man Flu? How you doing?
Income tax, property taxes. It's ridiculous. And of course, in California, we have carbon taxes as well. But people are such sheep here in California that, I mean, it doesn't go to green energy. It's just man, don't even get me started.
Oh, I know. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So you're using the taxes from the carbon tax to build nuclear power plants or solar farms? No. So you're planting trees? No. Well, then why are we being taxed?
Yeah. Good to see you, Toxic Man Flu.
Well,
How you doing?
it's because they're putting so much money into the infrastructure and the streets of California. That's why. Yeah, there's so much work being done on all the millions of freaking potholes in Los Angeles that I hit every freaking day.
Oh my God! You do not live in Gary. Do not live in northwestern Indiana, because it doesn't matter whether that road's new or brand new, because the weather, the condition weather, causes what happens is water and all that seeps in. The salt messes with the roads, and all of a sudden you got freaking potholes everywhere because of freezing warm conditions. Because you get a northern Canadian wind coming down Lake Michigan into Gary, Chicago area. Because Gary, Hammond, Indiana, East Chicago is right butting up next to Chicago, and you got that wind that comes through there, man. Ooh, buddy. That wind chill can feel like 40 below zero, and it's about 15, 20 below. And when that wind blowing, people have died in the wind being froze.
Wow.
Serious stuff.
Part of the
Basically,
reason
I didn't have a car that had a plug-in, and some of the winters, I had to literally go out every 4 hours or every 3 hours and start the car.
Wow.
Man, part of the reason I got my beater, my 4x4, was because how bad the potholes were. Man, it's fucking my nice car up.
What was that? What was tore up?
The potholes were fucking my car up.
Yeah, it's basically driving in those areas there. Basically you'd have to get brand new shocks once every 3 years or less. Yeah. Having a nice paved road with no potholes in northwestern Indiana, or northeastern Illinois, for that matter, because they were right next to each other. Man, I'm telling you, bad roads. Yeah, they use a chemical. It's a lot like, it acts the same way as salt, but I think it's a chemical type of sodium. Well, we're here in Washington State. They use a mixture of salt mixed with molasses, and it's a spray they spray in the road, and it's a very, very, very minute amount of sodium they put mixed with it, and the molasses causes it to not melt because molasses doesn't freeze.
Molasses?
And molasses will not freeze completely. You didn't know that?
I'm surprised they were able to get their hands on enough molasses for something like that.
Well, this is the Pacific Northwest.
Oh.
All kinds of trees you can think of grow around here.
Well, that's true. That is where they. Okay.
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that.
Lots of different things around here, farmland wise and stuff. And
Salt is not good for a car. Let me tell you, salt will destroy your car.
yeah, and so they spray this stuff. It's tacky, and so basically, what reason why they did it is because it helps with black ice. So you're in Eastern Washington? Yeah. Yeah. Some areas use calcium chloride. I don't know if it has the same effect as salt when it comes to rusting stuff. I'm not sure.
Chicago is brutal, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, when I first came to Olympia, Washington, they used sand and cinders on the road. Yeah, it was. It used to be pretty messy too, and they switched to basically a minor sodium solution and molasses. Now, it's not pure molasses; it's just a mixture of molasses in their solution. Pretty genius, I gotta say.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Although it can, I think the molasses kind of eats the road a little bit, and the trucks that spray the molasses will basically it will eventually start eating into the road because it doesn't go anywhere; it will stay there.
Huh. Molasses. Wow.
Yeah.
My mind's really blown right now.
That's what they use here in Western Washington. Well, at least that's what they use here in Thurston County, and Pierce County, and the surrounding counties.
Like the stuff you can make cookies with. Oatmeal cookies, molasses.
Yeah, they take molasses, they turn it into a liquid, very, very thinned out, and that's what they use.
Holy crap. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, Chicago is the worst. I've lived in North Kingstown, Rhode Island, on the Narragansett Bay. Apparently, everybody in North Kingstown is a New York City transplant, and that's where they're all from. And apparently, they influenced my accent a little bit. So sometimes when I start getting irritated, I start sounding like a New Yorker, which is kind of weird. Somebody, when I was in a casino playing a slot machine, and I was cussing at it, and these people next to me asked me, "You from New York?" I'm like, "No, but I lived in North Kingstown, Rhode Island for 3 months." And then 3 months is all it took. Start talking like them, it was weird. Yeah, it's been a while since I was in Spokane. The last time I was in Spokane, it was fucking cold. There was snow on the ground. That was, man, what was that? That was early December in 2003. I was there last. I got caught in. I was on my way to Canada in 2003, and I was driving my little 81 Toyota wagon, rear-wheel drive, and apparently on what's the pass right there? Biggest one. Having a brain fart. I got stream brain.
Stream brain.
Yeah.
I think I've got vodka brain.
It's one of the biggest passes over here closest to me. I can't remember the freaking name of it. That is so weird. But anyway, the engine and something in the engine of the train, something just decided to give up the ghost, man. It was dead. And so this guy that says I had to turn around, go back and give that ride. His girlfriend was just like, wow, why are you doing that and all that? And nice people though. After she got to know him, it's like, okay, you're all right. And so after that, I completely abandoned that car, took what I could, and I was up in Canada after that in the Greyhound. And let me tell you, it was snowing gangbusters. It was snowing gangbusters. Yeah, I go sage picking on the Yakima side, going east on 12th. Right by the river there. Actually, it's if they hurry up and get this stuff done and over with, I need to go do some sage picking here soon, because it's getting to be right time for it.
Yeah, they've got a lot of wild asparagus around here, which is pretty cool. Pretty narrow opportunity to pick it when it's still young enough and
right
before it gets to be, real like bamboo.
Basically, I want to basically teach my kids how to pick sage. There's a certain way to do it. Because when you go out there and pick sage, and believe it or not, it does involve prayer in the native way. And basically, it's like honoring the elder plant in that area and tobacco, and you pray for it and offer it up, and you do it in a sacred manner. And you don't take no more than what you need. And that's how I was taught. And go sage picking that way. And I want to get to a point to where I teach my kids that. And teach them how to find rattlesnakes. Always use rocks before you walk into that damn grass. Because some of that grass is like knee high in some places. It's like desert prairie on the other side of the mountains from me. But along the drive, man, it is just beautiful. It goes along the river there. And right now, the weather is just starting to get nice. 82 degrees today.
Yeah, weather has been nice lately, at least where I'm at.
Toxic man flu, I absolutely agree.
Yep.
This panel here, man, we're pretty awake about what's going on, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But bigger they are, the harder they fall. You know what I'm saying?
It's going down.
You know it.
Chopping it up.
Yep. They say timber.
Timber.
Timber just didn't happen when the walls fell.
Yeah.
Like I said, Star Trek, we can have a little fun with certain things, and we can blend it a little. And basically, we all know what we're talking about, but they don't. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we just develop our own little code, and we have fun with it. And we talk about the pink elephant in the room. Now, what should be really concerning, if you start seeing the multicolored pink elephant, maybe it was the brown elephant that you should have not licked. Woodstock, brown acid.
Yeah.
They are announcing at Woodstock Do not eat the brown acid. Do not eat the brown acid. That was at Woodstock. It was.
Oh no, that was yeah, and then they parodied it in Wayne's World 2.
Yes.
When they're doing Wayne Stock, do not eat. There is a bad rope of licorice. Do not eat the red rope licorice.
So yeah, there's all kinds of things that we can have fun with.
Yeah, parody.
Parody. And parody is our friend. Mm-hmm. Aha.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's all fun.
yeah.
Fun.
That's right.
Because basically with all the insanity, finding ways to cope with it, entertain, and not come across to certain platforms and get us yanked off. You know what I'm saying? And yanked off in a bad way, not a good way.
Yeah.
In case there's anybody out there with a mind like Steven's. Man, he got some good zingers on me, man. Real good, I'm telling you.
When, tonight?
Oh, man, left and right.
It
Left and right, man. I'm telling you, it got me good a few times.
was on it.
Uh-huh. So yeah, we can talk about the pink elephant, and we can all like see the multicolored elephant walking by, and we're just like, okay, should we talk about that? And it's like, guys, it's looking at us. What should we do? Don't move. Maybe it'll go away.
Yeah. One way or another.
Oh yeah. Then we can talk about the see what you got to watch out for is that blue elephant, man. You got to watch out for the blue elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that seems to be right in front of people's faces, and some people think it's a roll of quarters, and some people don't see it at all. You know, I mean,
Or
you say
maybe it's a slinky in a sock with some sand.
it could be a slinky and a sock with some sand. You know, it's just like a binky that somebody couldn't get rid of. They kept it into adulthood. Yeah. Yep. I don't see it. It's not there. It's not. It doesn't exist.
So Toxic Man Flu says, I'm in healthcare. Healthcare IT? Huh, that's a field, really. And until last weekend, I hadn't had a day off doing a ton of video connectivity. As in video conferencing?
Is that so doctors can video with patients and not have to be there in person? Is that?
Teleconferencing? Yeah, like South Park. It's coming right for us. Oh, no. Watch out. The multicolored elephants are coming to get us. Don't look at it. Yes, Mandela effect.
Yep.
Mandela effect, yeah.
Got to figure everything is wavelengths. Everything's energy. And man, let me tell you, it's freaking popping off left and right with all the energy. It's just nuts. It's insane. Basically, the crazy ass carnivals that you heard about and everyone talking about. Man, we are in one giant carnival show right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Pink elephants juggling blue balls and red balls and yellow balls and stuff like that.
Rolls of quarters, slinkies, dogs and cats living together.
Yeah,
Dogs
and cats living together. That's an absolute pandemic.
Shit, mice and rats dancing, man. Come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But they still don't want to talk about the pink elephant. Oh, no. Can't talk about the pink elephant. No, can't do that.
Ghostbusters. That's what a great movie.
Oh, my
The
God.
first and the second one.
The second one was not as good.
Not as good, but still, it's still a good movie. You put that up against almost any movie today.
All right, you see ours. Mass hysteria! Oh no! Oh my God! Mass hysteria!
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Mice and cats living together, getting along. Where have we seen that before? Oh no! Tom and Jerry. Oh. Yeah.
Itchy and scratchy.
Yeah. And then 2016 happened one day.
I can't believe we're still fighting that battle after all that stuff. God. I think they'd get it by now.
Well, basically, you'd think that they basically worship money, wink, wink, and, like the dollar bill, wink, wink, and a bunch of winky winks.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, they don't want to lose money, but yet they keep making bad TV shows and bad movies that they lose money on.
A lot of money.
And then the pink elephant got locked in a china cabinet and broke everything. I'm gonna have fun with this pink elephant. Oh,
It's only going to heat up.
watch.
That's right, our
Right.
double R.
Yeah, Toxic Man flu, didn't we all? I think we're heading more towards Brave New World than 1984, but I could be wrong.
All right. Do you know there's such a thing as the elephant?
No, what's the elephant?
Album by Evelyn. I kid you not. I just did a search for elephant just for the hell of it, and top of the search, it's a book by, it's an album by Evelyn.
Huh.
Kid you not. But I did that for another particular reason. Hashtag pink elephant. Yeah, I think hashtag pink elephant. Let's see. So have you guys seen any rampage and pink elephants in your area lately?
I hope I don't run into any.
Yeah. Just as long as you don't run into the rainbow, multicolored, switching pink elephant with the crazy eyes,
Hard to avoid.
Because
They jump in your way.
because they more than likely they licked the brown elephant from Woodstock.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Hashtag pink elephant. There we go.
Yep.
There we go. I tweeted hashtag pink elephant. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I just shared that to the creator chat and retweet pink elephant. Yeah. Let's make it a thing.
Pink elephant.
Yeah. Hashtag pink elephant.
Hashtag pink elephant.
There you go. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. People would be asking, like, why is pink elephant trending?
I do.
Well, as you can see in my icon, see that color blue right there? I have a shirt that's actually that color blue. And I was wearing that shirt in that picture. That's my favorite color. That particular color of blue.
Oh, yeah. That's like a deep, almost purple blue, deep blue.
Yeah. It's basically race car blue. I like it, love it. My uncle, he had a GTO, a 69 GTO that was race car blue. My God, man, it was beautiful. Back before they built everything up around South Lake Mall, there was a circular road surrounding the whole thing. And he used to open it up. Oh, my goodness. Man, let me tell you, to a 6-year-old hot rodding down the road in a hot rod, that is the most awesome experience you could ever have.
I bet.
Yeah. And my Uncle Jamie and my dad was the only one that I would let give me a ride on a motorcycle. And my Uncle Jamie, my God, he would scare the hell out of me on a motorcycle. Jeez. I got a ride to school one time. On the school bus in Hammond at the time in 5th grade. It was at least 30-minute bus ride, probably 30-minute, 25-minute car ride. And we got there in 5 minutes, man.
Wow.
When I got off that bike, I almost kissed the freaking ground. And but yeah, my Uncle Jamie and my dad was the only one when I was a kid let me take on the bike. Anyone else? Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, that's the one thing I wanted growing up was a motorcycle, dirt bike. One thing Mom said no.
Yeah, I was never
She's
able
like,
to have that.
she's like, yeah. She's like, I see what you do with your bike. No. I had to specially build a bike when I was a kid because I kept turning the wheels into ovals. Oh yeah. Basically, we took a old, those old 20-inch banana seat Schwinn bikes with the weird handlebars and the weird forks.
The banana, but
yeah, old Schwinn 20-inch banana seat bikes.
I'd have to see a picture of it.
Three-pronged bars that go into the front. Well, it was ugly as hell, and it was yellow. And so I stripped it down, and me and my dad went to a welder, and my dad asked the guy, weld every weak spot on this frame because he's going to be jumping some ramps with this. and so he did that. I got a set of forks to replace those ones, and we got wheels, knobbies, and all that. Got it set up and all that, and it's nice looking after that. Painted it the same color as that blue, race car blue.
Yeah.
And put a foam thing on the middle bar, and good set of handlebars and some Oakley grips. Yeah. And the bike, it wasn't the lightest bike ever, but you know what? It was sturdy, man, and I could jump 10-foot ramps with it. I did some crazy stuff. I jumped that same bike off a pool house.
Whoa.
Into a pool.
Nice.
And basically, yeah, man, that was nuts.
Into a pool.
Into a pool. I kid you not. And basically, the shallow end was closest to the pool house, and there was about 20 feet between the pool and the pool house, and the roof probably jetted out about 5 feet, so there was really about 15 feet, and the pool house was it was one of those angled up roofs.
Mm-hmm.
It was maybe about 20 feet long, and I went off, jumped it, and I ended up in the middle of the pool.
Nice.
And my friend, I lived in Sacramento at the time. I probably lived small bike ride from the American River. I could ride my bike to the Capitol in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, and I think a friend of mine might have dared me. I didn't turn down dares.
Huh. Yeah.
Those Nate. I'm like, oh no, let's walk in the park. But
diving into a pool with a bike.
When I first built that bike, man. 2 sets of rims, man, ovaled them. And my dad asked me, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I was jumping 10 feet high ramps, kind of looking at him sideways." And he was just like, "Whoa." And I was 10 feet high ramps, man. A lot of times those 10 feet high ramps was on a hill. And so land, ovaled rims twice. And so, and they do make heavy duty. Back then, they made heavy duty spoked rims, heavy duty inner tubes, and heavy duty knobby tires. And they made things really good back then. And it was all American made.
Yeah.
And didn't do it no more. Perfect. I could have probably jumped a 20-foot high ramp and landed.
All right, guys. Well, I'm starting to kind of doze off here, so I think I'm going to head to bed.
Yeah, I think I might do that as well. We've all been streaming for what, 6 hours?
I did one before that too. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, you guys had your regular stream earlier.
Yeah, I started at 4.
Yeah, and I was watching that.
Yeah, I guess it's been longer than I got. 8 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a day.
A little break in between them. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, a heck of a stream. I tell you, we covered a lot of stuff here.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's get to the 2:30 and 6-second mark, because then it'll be a full 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'll play a video here for you. It will take us out.
Because Wes ended his stream the other night, and when it stopped, it was exactly 3 hours, and then it jumped back 1 second.
Yeah, it was
wow.
59. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it happen. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's play this then as our last thing. Going back to our bring it full circle. This is a UFO. Okay, so this is my friend. He said he filmed this himself, sent it to me. This was over. Let's see. This is during the quarantine, so this is within the last month. And he saw this outside of him and his wife, outside of their condo, and it was over the ocean. So he lives down by the beach, and he was shooting this over the ocean. So I'll share it. That comes up. I don't think you're gonna get sound, but okay. Hopefully it's not too shabby. So he was filming. So these are the lights here. Watch video. So I don't know if you can. Probably can't hear it, but see there. Look how big those are.
Oh yeah. That's far away, and they're kind of big.
Yeah, that's far away, right? That's over the ocean, so yeah. He's saying they're just off the horizon. About a pinky's height above the rooftops. And he said that they stayed like this for a while, and eventually he did send me another video, but it's pretty much just one of them. But he said they all kind of either turned off or they collapsed, because it's hard to tell, where they collapsed into one. So they eventually only either became one or the other lights shut off and there was only one left. So, but what this reminded me of was, the lights over Phoenix, which was a huge deal back in the, the 90s, late 90s? A large number of lights that showed up over the mountain range in downtown Phoenix, where that was witnessed by thousands of people over the city, and then was recorded and made national news. Became a scandal sort of, because the governor came out and denied it. He brought a person out in a alien costume, like the classic gray alien costume. Yeah, and they made on the national press on a press junket. They asked him about it, and he made fun of it and brought a guy out dressed as an alien, just to downplay the whole thing. Well, he has now come out since. There was a book done on it a few years ago on the event, and he has come out since and said, yeah, that was a real event. He regrets making fun of it, but that's what he was kind of, sort of told to do, so to say.
Wow.
Yeah, but he regrets it. He wished he wouldn't have handled that way. It was a real event. They don't know what it was. They did dispatch fighters to find out. So he has admitted that now. What's that?
They did.
Oh,
that's just like, wow, that's visually obvious.
Yeah, there are also reports out throughout Phoenix that night, earlier in the night, that there was a huge triangle-shaped object that was about. I mean, there were reports saying it was about like a football field long in the sky. That was being seen all over Phoenix. Totally silent, black. It's very large though, and that was right before, same night, but right before the big Phoenix Lights event. Before it was witnessed by thousands of people. So, yeah, a lot of crazy stuff because there were people were calling into the police stations, reporting this. Seeing this huge black triangle-shaped craft flying over different areas of Phoenix, and it was not recorded. So, well, there we go. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 7 seconds. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 hours, 30 minutes. Took us, took us right out.
Man flu before you tuned in. We talked about, we showed one of the, on Twitter, I found some UFO videos on Twitter, and there was one where, I don't know if you've heard talk of the TR3, something like TR3B or something like that, and it's probably one of those top secret budget aircraft that the military are using. It's got lit up areas in all the points of the triangle. Now, Wes said the one he saw, there was a center red piece lit up, but when these pieces passed through the clouds, it looked like that they were being hidden by cloaking technology. Because when
They're translucent.
When they went through the clouds, it like pushed the clouds aside. You could see it. I mean, it was like watching an episode of Star Trek where the Romulan ship went through something, and you can see the ripples of its cloaking. It was that kind of moment for me. But yeah, we'll probably if you go back and do a rewatch, you can probably catch that. That was the beginning.
Yeah, pretty incredible video from the beginning.
There was another one, blue light emitting from the bottom, and it was being attacked by something from above it. Yeah,
spinning around in circles.
Catch the rewatch, man. That was wow. All right, we really appreciate you, chat, for coming out and hanging out with us, because you are the most awesome chat on YouTube. And hell to you. Thank you for coming out and having some laughs and some giggles with us and all that. And guys, go ahead and tell them about your YouTube channel and where you can be found.
Go ahead, Final.
Oh, okay. FinalDeathStar. So you can find me at FinalDeathStar on YouTube, on the YouTube. Oh man, I sound like a boomer. On the YouTube. Find me there on the YouTube. Yeah, you can find me on the YouTube at FinalDeathStar. Also on Twitter at FinalDeathStar1 on the Twitter. And I'm up for my fandom collective card. So go on FinalDeathStar1 on Twitter and vote for me, because it's down to me and Chris now, because we've both been beaten, and I think Chris is killing me right now. Yeah, 62% to 37%. So I need some help. So go vote for me.
Yeah, but you gotta say, Chris, man, he's a thumper. He's out there thumping, knocking on doors.
He's hustling for votes right now.
He definitely is. I've seen him send the message out and at everyone in the fandom. So
Yeah.
I'll let him have. If he wins, then good. I mean, I like Chris a lot, so I obviously no hard feelings. Yeah,
he's awesome. So Wes.
I am Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me at the youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast, all one word, or the twitch.com/Wes Moody Webcast, all one word. I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to, because it is my webcast. Thank you, my friends.
And to end the night with, whatever you do, don't tag author Stephen Walton with rainbow donks. Whatever you do, don't tag him with rainbow donks. I wouldn't suggest it at all, so don't do that at all. Nope. Okay. So that's my message for the day, and we appreciate you. Take this one out, just being a little funny, because we like to do that. Have fun. So, hell to you. Thank you for coming, and we will see you next time. And if you see a well, walk around it. Don't fall in one. Hail to you.
Hail.
Have a great one.
But be well.
Be well.